Start now. This is Ramnath. Today I'm going to talk about some of the CCNA topics. Let me share my screen first. I'm sharing. I guess somebody else is joining here. Rupesh. Okay, I will admit him. Guess he has joined it. Okay, I guess there are 5 people for that. Some more people are about to come up, so let us start because it's already been late for 10 minutes. So CCNA, it's an old CCNA which was already been there for last 20-25 years or something. Cisco certification is, like it is a very good certification earlier days, but not in these days now. But still, it's been looked for, like whoever is certified by Cisco and the people who are working on Cisco, like that. So people are looking for that. If you are certified by Cisco, in the sense you'll be knowing about all the network protocols, network topologies, network troubleshootings, and like so many other things which are there, which is related to the network. Not only for the network, if you're looking for to make yourself comfortable with the system administration side. System administration in the sense Linux administration, Windows administrations, database administration. Nowadays, it is very much famous last 5-6 years. Cloud administrations. Cloud in the sense I can say about AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud, CenturyLink Cloud, DigitalOcean Cloud. So many clouds are there. Every cloud we have the network which has been built. So every network need to be properly managed and it should be implemented, and we just need to go for an upgradation as well. Okay. So we are looking for certain kind of a knowledge from the Cisco. Anytime, whenever you go for like last 10 years back, I was telling about that story. That time Juniper has got a certification, Ericsson has got certification, Huawei has got a certification on network side. But people were preferring only the Cisco because Cisco topics are very much elaborate and extended technologies which are available on this. And once a person has been certified by the Cisco, in the sense he has got a lot of knowledge over the current available practical scenarios as well as the network side. Either is in the routing side or a switching side, he has got all the informations, whatever it is required for him to be directly deployed on the project side. People are deployed in the projects, people are deployed in the data centers, people are deployed on the cloud, and they are deployed in the smaller network, bigger network, ISP, Internet Service Provider network, like many other networks are there. So every other network requires a certain basic understanding on the local area network and wide area network. How do I say, the knowledge about these two major things on this. So you can ask me that whether still Cisco certification is still valid or not. Like still valid, definitely. Without a Cisco or without any kind of administration side on the either Linux or Windows, you will not be able to survive in the market on cloud. I'm telling you. Cloud is being built for the people who are already been experienced, not for the beginners. Beginners in the sense who are coming out of the college, they must have done something on BTech or electronics or electrical, or computer science. Maybe like they are just coming out of that, but they don't have any kind of a practical knowledge that they can be implemented, they can be deployed directly on the projects or something. It's not possible. They don't know what is a network, they don't know how to log into the switches and routers, how to run the commands, how to see the outputs and how to see the utilities on this, how the network troubleshooting can be done. What are the network, first of all, what is the network devices are there? How do we log into the networks? How do we log into the network device? How to start the step-by-step troubleshooting on this? What is the OSA layer? And how many layers are there? Somebody is joining. And how many layers are there? How people are, troubleshooting the network or implementing the network on this? So suddenly, if there is a bigger network has been given into your hand, in the sense you will not be knowing that where to start and where to end. How do you start from the beginning? How do you start from the start troubleshooting things? How do you implement a thing? Like if I'm asking you to integrate a local area network to the service provider network, what all the things need to be known? How to configure the IP address in the Windows 10 environment. How to configure the Somebody is asking. Good morning, no audio. Why? So what's the problem? I am unmuted. My screen is sharing. Arun Balaji is asking. Anyone else is saying any problems in the listening audios? You guys can unmute and you can say something.
No.
No problems. Can you please tell me your name, please? Hello. Please introduce yourself and you can just say that. Audio is clear from my side. You can hear me. You can hear my voice.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. So Arun Balaji, maybe you started attending the meeting through your headphones or something. Please check your headphones or remove the headphone and directly listening on the speaker. That would be nice because Zoom sometimes it gives the problems with the headphones, especially which is connected on Bluetooth phones and all. You will have problems. Please try connecting to. Let me connect also. Please try connecting with speaker. Not on Bluetooth headsets. That will not be able to see that. You cannot see that. You will not be able to get that what I'm speaking on this because other people are listening to me. So let me continue. So headsets will be a problem. Please remove the headsets and they can directly listen to me on the, what do you say? Yeah, I guess, yeah, some people are there. Okay, nice. So that we were discussing like what is the network and other things and all. Okay, the basic network components will be like should be having kind of PCs, servers. Servers can be Linux server or Windows servers. Linux, there are so many versions of that. Either you'll go for a Red Hat or you'll go for a Ubuntu or you go for a SUSE. Any Linux, whichever you take, that must be the server must be running on that. And Windows servers, you'll be having 2008 or 2016 or 2000 server, 2019 server has been there. And we have a lot of database servers, application servers, chat servers, video servers, multimedia servers. So many other servers, other application-based servers are everywhere. So these all servers need to be connected to the client. Client in the sense I'm talking about a Windows 10 client or Windows 7 or Windows 8 or even a Linux clients also. So these people need to connect to the Windows servers or Linux servers. When they're trying to connect in the sense there should be a network to be built up, then only they can able to connect. Connecting can be through the wired connection or it can be through the wireless connections. Wireless connection means like you will be using your wireless adapter to connect to the network by using the AP associated, what is that? Access points. Through the access points, you will be connecting to that. So that is a wireless connections. You may be connecting from your cube directly over the top, the wireless network adapters. Through the wireless network adapter, you'll be connecting it. Else, you'll be connecting with your wired adapter that is called as an NIC. NIC, you'll be having the NIC. NIC means network interface card, we will say. So an NIC will be configured with an IP address to match with the subnet of the server which is running on that so that they can be able to connect to the server. Somebody is joining. Let me admit him. Okay. So like the server need to talk to the clients need to talk to the server, and the clients need to connect to the remote locations as well. I can say that in India, there are 4 branches of the Chennai, Bombay, Calcutta, and Delhi, like that. So these 4 branches need to get connected in the sense Chennai guy want to connect to the Bangalore guy want to connect to the Delhi. In the sense, we require the wide area network connections. Wide area network connections are made up of some of the devices called routers. So local area networks are built on switches, Ethernet switches it is called, and it's built on what is that? APs, wireless APs, which we talk normally. So through the APs, they will be connecting to that, or through the Ethernet switches, they will be connecting to that local network. And when they try to connect to the remote network, okay, when it is connecting to the remote network, in the sense we require to know we require to have the routers connected on this. Okay. So I guess see some people are complaining about the voice is not coming, voice is not coming. I don't know. Headphones, please remove the headphones. It will not work out Many times it will not work out in the headphones. Please use your speakers only. Laptop speaker or mobile speaker, Android phone speaker or something like that, you can just use that. And please mute your mics. That would be nice. Okay, because yeah, other people are listening to me. Other people can hear me. That's why I'm just telling that there is no problem from my side. Problem may be from your handset or headset or maybe your laptop, something like that. Please correct it. Thank you. So we were talking about the LAN components and the WAN components. LAN components are the switches, hubs, repeaters, something like that. The WAN components are the routers, firewalls, load balancers, and other things. So when we are trying to make up a network for our own company, like maybe around 20 people are sitting in our organization, like a call center, you can take that. So all the call center PCs need to connect to the central server. The server will be connecting to the outside. Outside in the sense they may be having the internet connections. So internet is nothing but another network. It's a huge network in the world. So everywhere, wherever you go, the network is the platform. Network is going to be the platform. Even in cloud also, without network, you will not be able to connect to the cloud. So people directly try to jump into the cloud and they learn about the cloud technologies. I am welcoming, I'm not saying no, but without having the proper knowledge on the local area network and wide area network, and without having the proper knowledge on the operating systems, either in a server side or a client side, the whatever the cloud technologies you're going to learn from that, you will not get any benefit from that. I'm telling you. This is like a warning. I'm just giving you suggestions. You can take it or advice. You can take that, but nothing is going to work out when you directly jump into the cloud. It's not going to work at all anywhere. So better you start with any operating system basics and some language basics if you have, or some kind of a server basics, operating system basics, network basics. These all are required for you to become a good engineer. If you like to be part of any bigger organizations like a Capgemini, Accenture, Cisco, Juniper, so many companies are there who are offering the service-oriented industry. So actually, I'm from service-oriented industry. So when you are having the proper experience, when you are having the proper knowledge on the devices, the network, how it has been operating, what is an IP address, how to assign that, how to ping, how to verify the connectivity, how to troubleshoot when things goes wrong, then you'll be having the better chances to get employed in any bigger companies as well. So once you are coming out of the college, that's what I was telling you. Like when you're coming out of the college, you'll not be knowing anything at all. Like in a lab scenario or something, no way. So better you learn something. I'm not saying that you just need to go for an exam and clearing all these things. No, you just need to learn and acquire the knowledge. That's more important. When you're having the knowledge, you can go and attend any interviews anywhere. Anywhere, it's possible. Or be and moreover like this in this Corona time, this is a good time for us to upgrade our skills to the new mandatory skills which are required for to become a network engineer or a system administrator or a network administrator. So the person who is completing the CCNA with no experience can be given an L1 level 1 administrator job like that. He will be monitoring the network and he will be a little bit of troubleshooting. He will just make that. He will give some suggestions to the customers, taking over the phone or he'll be taking the remote console on something. Then he'll be learning about how to configure the router, basic configurations on the IP addresses, interface configurations, routing protocols. In the switch side, he'll be configuring about the VLANs and access ports, trunk ports, spanning tree, and load balancing things. He will learn many things like how to increase the security things and all, like for a device security device. So he will be learning all these very basic things which are necessary to start with any network or something. So this certification is based on this giving you the basic knowledge on the network. To start as a network engineer, you can come from any domain. It's possible. It's okay. You are a software guy. Completely, I'm working on a software only. What I'm going to do with the network, but definitely you will get a network knowledge because now we are talking about a lot of Kubernetes and Dockers, Androids, iPhones, and everything need to get connected together properly. So when you are getting connected together in the sense that network knowledge is very much required for you. So when network knowledge has been there, as far as knowledge purpose also you can learn the CCNA. Okay, not for a job or something like that. You can, yeah, you can learn the network knowledge to become a good understanding about the networks about that, and you can start working with many other technologies as well. You'll be able to point out the problems which are faced on your accessing the servers and the clients and other things, and you will have a broader knowledge about that how the network is operating, and you will be having the proper knowledge about that how to troubleshoot a problematic network and how to implement with the proper plans in the sense I'm telling about that how the layer format they can just make up that connectivity like that. So many basic things which we will be able to learn from this CCNA. CCNA is a Cisco Certified Network Associate exam. That exam has got a new number that is called as a 200 301. 200 301. All year it was 200 125 and many exams were there. Every exam has been completely, what is that? Completely removed. Just say somebody else is waiting. I'm admitting him. Okay. So previous older exams are removed from the exam pattern, and there is a new exam which has been given on this as a CCNA 200 301. We will be seeing about this 200 301, what all the contents are there and what we are going to learn from that. And if you'd like to become a CCNA certified person, what all the practicals you just need to do, what are the lab scenarios you just need to see it, and how do you log into the router, how do you create a router in there is a packetizer called one simulator which we have. Through that simulator we can have that. Through the simulator we will be able to have the connectivities can be established. I'll be showing you the smaller scenario based connectivity and other things on the packetizer itself at the end of this session. So you will be able to enjoy that and how to connect and all these things. And I'll be able to show you all these things on this. So before that, CCNA was there, has got a long history for last 25 years. The CCNA has been there. I've been certified in CCNA in near about 10, 12 years back. I was just saying that time the exam number was completely different. Chapters were very less. Nowadays there is so many chapters as added due to the market trend, due to the market demand. The people need to have some more skills on that so that the chapters has been added more. And there is a path of getting the people to get certified also. After the CCNA, there is a one more slide. I will tell you how to go for that. Like that, we are going to see many things on the what do you say, on the CCNA part. Let me do one thing. I will make this as bigger so that you will be able to see it as a full screen. Do the F5. So this is the one which we are going to discuss today. So CCNA 200 301 new exam. All the certification paths. See that there are so many certifications were there. In the left hand side, you can just see path, designing, routing and switching, security, storage networking, service provider, SP operations, voice, wireless. So many things were there. And there were CCNT, CCNA, professional. These are all old certification path. Currently, this is not available at all. So what is the new certification? And these are all retired on February 23, 2020. You can just see that. You can just see that is in February 23, 2020. These certifications has been retired. These all certificates are retired. There is no more certificates available now currently. If you like to look for CCDA, CCNA Cloud, CCNA Collaboration, CCNA Data Center, so many things are there. Only thing which is available is the CCNA routing and switching. That is also been added with the more chapters from all these different things. Okay. So I will be taking you, I'll be taking you to the next slide. So you'll be able to see that. Just going. This is the certification path. Updated training and certification program offers a direct route to your technology career aspirations. Explore our new catalog to learn about associate, professional, expert, and supplemental exams that earn you specialist certifications plus credit toward recertification on all paths. So you will be starting with the associate. Okay, you will be starting with associate. This is the first exam. CCNA is nothing but an associate, Cisco Certified Network Associate. Then they introduced the new exam that is called a specialist. You will become a specialist on any one of the technology which we discussed earlier, like a cloud, security, routing switching, service provider, wireless, and many other technologies are also there. Then, if you like to pursue, you can go to the professional side. Professional means it will come like a CCNP professional. In the CCNP means Cisco Certified Network Professional, it's called. That exam is called as a network professional. There you will be able to pursue in any one other technology. If you are very much interested to do security, then you can pursue yourself as a security guy. There will be multiple exams will be there. You just need to clear that. Okay. Once you becoming clear on all these things, then you can directly switch back to the expert level. Expert level is the last level. Last level of the certification is an expert. It is called a Cisco Certified Internet Networking Expert. In that exam, whatever the technologies available currently on the world will be asked. There will be a laboratory will also be there. 1 day lab. You just need to clear that. And there is a theory exam is also been there. You just need to clear the theory exam. After clearing the theory exam, you just need to clear your expert level laboratory exams. Like that it goes. This is a certification path, I can just say. Okay, now let's go to the next slide. This is the new certifications, CCNA 200-301. Okay, this is a new certification. From this on, you will be able to take the next level specialist like that. Enterprise, service provider, data center, security, collaboration, something like that. You can just go for it. Then you will become a professional, then you will become an expert. Like that. If you have a time and money, most importantly, then you will be able to earn all the certifications in your life. People who are 4 times certificates, four technology certified with CCI, 4 CCIs, 5 CCIs. People are going to a lot of certifications as well. If you have a time and money and you have practice and you have patience, you can go until the many levels of certifications as well. Okay, let's go to the next slide. These are all the certification by the technology, collaboration, cyber ops, data center, DevNet. This is a new certification has been added that is called as a DevNet. DevNet is a new certification. This comes with the DevOps platform. DevOps means development and operations, which requires a lot of coding knowledge from your side. You just need to come with the proper coding knowledge, else you will not be able to clear this exam. Otherwise, you just need to learn a lot of coding on this, C++, Python coding, Ansible, and many things are there. So this enterprise is one of the good one. Security is very much hot in the market. Service provider, beautiful certifications. You will be working under the internet service providers like that. So this is about the technology wise, specifications. Let us talk about the CCNA topics 200-301. What all the topics will be discussed? Network fundamentals. It's always been the network access. We will see the explanations by one chapter on this one later. IP connectivity, IP services, security fundamentals, automation and programmability. This is what is been added newly for the 200-301 exam. There you will be doing some programs. There will be doing some automations. Automation in the sense where there is no much human activity will be there, where there will be like more of machine activity, that is called as an automation. Automation will be running with the multiple scripts on this that requires the program skills for you. That's why they made it like automation and the programmability. So we will see one by one on the chapters like network fundamentals. In the network fundamentals, what are you going to learn? Explain the role and function of the network component. Describe the characteristics of network topology architecture. Compare the physical interface and cabling types. You will learn about all the cables. What all the cables are there available in the market now. How we are going to connect the network with the cables physically. Identify the interface and cable issues. Cable issues, yeah. When there is a collision happening, when there is errors happening or somebody is joining, okay, mismatch is happening on the duplex and speed and other things and all, we will be able to find the problems with that interface level issues. Compare the TCP and UDP. These are all the protocols. We need to understand that high level protocol which can carry the multiple, like the traffic between one place to another place. Next, configure and verify IPv4 addressing. Yeah, we need to understand what is an IPv4, what is the addressing pattern there, what is an IP address, how to assign the IP address to the interfaces, PC servers, routers, load balancers, firewalls. How do you assign the addresses for that? And we will be doing definitely the subnetting. Subnetting is very much important point. Subnetting. You need to understand what is subnetting. How do you do the subnetting? Subnetting means creating a multiple networks so that we can able to maintain the networks, in a proper way. That is called as subnetting. And we will be seeing the private addressing and public addressing and all we will learn. Then very important IPv6. We will learn about IPv6 also. IPv6 means this is the next level of IP addresses scheme. Because of that IPv4 addresses are getting depleted, IPv6 has been introduced. We will learn about the IPv6 also. Then we'll see the verifying the parameters of the client OS. Client OS means Windows client, Mac client, and Linux client. How do we configure IP addressing? How to ping in between them? These all things we can do that. Then the wireless principle. Wireless has been the virtualization fundamentals, virtual machines, how the virtual machines are installed and maintained. We will learn that. Describe the switch concepts. Yeah, switching concept is also important. We'll learn that in the fundamentals. Then the network access is coming. VLANs, normal range, spanning multiple switches. How to create the VLANs, how to configure the VLANs, and how to maintain the VLANs. And what is the VLAN first of all? Virtual local area network. How do you connect the PCs to that VLANs? How to ping in between them by connecting the router. Layer 2 discovery protocol, CDP and LLDP. Layer 2, layer 3 ether channel. This is called as like, we will go for some load balancing things with the local area network. There is a protocol called LACP has been configured. LACP means link access control protocol. Then we'll learn about spanning tree protocol, that is rapid PBST. Spanning tree is so huge, we will learn a lot on that. Compare the Cisco wireless architectures and AP modes. AP means access points. WLAN components, wireless LAN components, AP, WLC, access and trunk ports, and LAG, access group, like that it goes. Describing the AP and WLC management access connections. It's all related to the wireless on this. So in this what we will learn Telnet, SSH, HTTP, HTTPS console, and TACACS and radius. All these things are discussed under the managing things now. Wireless LAN access for the client connectivity using the GUI only, such as WLAN creation, security settings and QoS profiles, advanced WLAN settings. These are all wireless LAN things which we are seeing. So the next is IP connectivity. IP connectivity is nothing but the routing. Routing means when you try to contact the remote network. Remote network means Chennai Bangalore connections or Bangalore Hyderabad connections. When you're doing that, there will be two different networks sitting in Hyderabad and in Chennai and in Bangalore. When you try to interconnect each other, we require to create routing protocols. Through the routing protocols, we'll be able to configure the networks which are getting advertised to each other. Then the people from Bangalore can log into the Hyderabad servers. Hyderabad people can log into the Chennai boxes. Like that, interconnectivity can happen through routing protocols. So we will learn about this in IP connectivity. Interpret the components of IP routing table means what all the components are there in that, how to verify that, how to understand that, what all the codes are there in that, which is the remote network, which is local network. These all informations we'll get it from the routing table. Then how a router is making the forwarding decision by default. Configure and verify IPv4 and IPv6 static routing and a single area OSPF version 2. Describe the purpose of first hop redundancy protocol. This comes under the load balancing things. HSRP, VRRP, GLBP. These are all protocols which are giving you the redundancy wise. We should not be able to depend on just one router to give the connectivity to the outside. What we do normally, we will be connecting two routers and we will be doing the load balancing between this. So when we try to do the load balancing on this one, we will be using any one of this protocol. HSRP, GLBP are Cisco standard. VRRP is an open standard. So we'll learn about this also. IP services, next bigger topic. Here we will learn about network address translations, private numbers like a private addresses, public addresses. What are the NAT we can do? Network address translations we can do. What is the purpose of NAT? Without using the NAT, what will happen? With using the NAT, what will happen? Like this all we will be learning. Then we'll learn about DHCP and DNS. Dynamic host configuration protocol. This is the way that we will be assigning the IP addresses to the clients remotely and automatically like this. And DNS is for a domain name server that resolves the names to the IP addresses alone. Explaining the function of SNMP, Simple Network Management Protocol, syslog features, DHCP client and relay, per hop behavior forwarding. And the QoS has also been discussed. Quality of service, that is classification, marking, queuing, congestion, policing, and shaping. Configure network devices for remote access using SSH capabilities and functions of TFTP and FTP in the network. Okay, and sorry, there was a call. So configuring the network devices for remote access using SSH capabilities and functions of TFTP and FTP. FTP means a file transfer protocol, which we will be using for transferring the files. Means we try to download some of the movie files or MP3 files or document files from the internet site, so that we are using the FTP. TFTP is used for to upgrade the OS of the network platforms, either switches, routers, firewalls, anything which can be uploaded using the FTP protocol. TFTP as well. So we will see the next thing, the security fundamentals. Security is a bigger one. So this new certification has got many domains involved in it. Not only routing switching we are going to see, we will see security, we will see wireless, we will see application programmability. See that most all the technology whichever it is currently in the market is being included. So you will be having a better chance to go and attend the interview without any problems. So security fundamentals, we'll discuss about the threat, vulnerability, exploit, and mitigation techniques. It's a complete security chapters. Like cyber security also we talk about nowadays. Describe the security program element, user awareness, training, and physical access control. Configure the device access control using the local passwords, strong password policies. We'll create that management complexity, password alternatives. Password alternatives using the multi-factor authentication, we say MFA. Certificates will be using that, biometrics will use that. Now people are, whenever you go to the office, you'll be putting your thumb impression for that your to make your attendance like that. Nowadays it has become so that is a biometrics it's called. So that is also one of the security device. And describing the remote access and site-to-site VPNs, virtual private network connections, how do we make? Access control lists. This is how we will be blocking the people who are coming in and going out, and based on the addresses, based on the port numbers, based on the applications, we will be talking on this. Somebody is joining. Okay, I'll make him. And layer 2 security features like a DSCP snooping, dynamic ARP inspection, and port security. Port security is very important. Unnecessary people cannot get into the port. I will be blocking them if they're coming with a different MAC addresses. Differentiate the AAA concepts and describe wireless security protocol. WPA, WPA2, and WPA3 also came. 3 has come now recently. And configure WLAN using WPA2 PSK using the GUI. So we will be configuring the wireless LAN also. How to connect the people with using the wireless LAN, that we'll be learning on this. Then the next bigger topic is going to be automation and programmability. This is the last bigger chapter. So under this, we'll be discussing all these things. Explain how automation impacts your network management. Compare the traditional network with the controller-based networking. Describe controller-based and software-defined architecture. SDN, we need to learn SDN. SDN is ruling the market nowadays. It's not only the normal network routing, switching or something. SDN you need to learn. So overlay, underlay, and fabric, everything has been discussed here. Separation of control plane and data plane, northbound and southbound APIs. Compare traditional campus device management with the Cisco DNA Center enabled device management. This is coming up like Cisco's SDN we are discussing. Everybody has got their own SDN. So let me see, some people are waiting. Let them admit all. Okay, they are all coming inside. Okay, nice. And separation of control plan that we've seen already. Then describe characteristics of REST-based APIs. APIs means application programming interfaces using the CRUD, HTTP verbs, data encoding. These all. Recognize the capabilities of configuration management mechanisms. This we will be using the DevOps tools. These DevOps tools here we will learn about Puppet Chef and Ansible will learn. Then the last as that interpret the JSON encoded data. JSON is like a lot of a lot of it's looking like a like a language or something. JavaScript object notification, that is called JSON. Nowadays we are writing all the automation scripts on JSON format only, either in AWS cloud or Google cloud or any cloud, whatever it may be. In SDN also we used to write a lot of scripting, that is software defined networking. There also we'll be using the JSON scripting. So this is the last bigger chapter which we talk about. An important announcement is that how is the new CCNA different from the previous CCNA that Cisco offered? We have consolidated and updated CCNA training and certification into one course, one comprehensive exam that covers entry-level networking skills across technologies such as IP fundamental. Somebody more people are joining. Let me admit them. Okay, I just given admission all. Okay. So entry-level networking skills like across the technologies such as basic IP fundamentals, network access, IP connectivity, basics of automation and network programmability, and security and fundamental skills and all, like, because that is what the difference between the old CCNA and new CCNA. Will the CCNA certification still be required as a prerequisite for professional certifications? No. Answer is no. The certification CCNA is no longer required as a prerequisite for any professional certification, giving learners the ability to start where they choose in their learning journey. So CCNA is not mandatory. Earlier, CCNA required as a mandatory skill for certification for to go to the CCNP and above, but it is not required now. You can directly take any specialist exam. It's like that. So it's easy, but it's very harder for you when you directly go to any specialist exam or a professional exam, unless and until you have the proper knowledge on the basic certification skills. So better, I would like to advise you, go through CCNA first and clear the certification also. Then you pursue for NP or specialist or what is that, CCI, like expert level, like that. So a person who is working already been in the network for last 5-6 years or something, he can directly go for kind of specialist or other certifications. But I will not suggest anyone to go for people who are with a basic knowledge at all. Nothing has been there. So I will not recommend them to go for it. But this is for like people who are having complete experience on that. And they, in the Cisco network, they've been already working for last 5-6 years. They have in and out of the knowledge of the entire network and all. Then they can go and try it out. But exam is completely different. Exam clearing is completely different. So better still as a proper guidance which I can give from my side, like that. Please go for CCNA first, then go for any kind of upper level certification. Next, recertification renewal time frames. Something is there. Entry level, associate level, professional level. It's a 3 years validation is there for you. Okay, when you clear your CCNA now, 2020, so 2023 only it will get expired. All CCIE certifications will be 2 years. Specialist certifications will be 2 years. Cisco certified architect, that is above than the expert level, that is 5 years. So that will take a longer path for you to reach there. Maybe like at least 2 to 3 years, 3 years or 4 years maybe taking for you to become a architect. Believe it. Upon retirement of any certification, no new certification will be issued, nor it will be available for recertification. This certification will remain active until unique expiration date held by the candidate. This is like all certificate information about that. Okay, this is about the last slide which I have it in my hand. So this is my number and my email address, and I have a YouTube channel also. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You will be seeing the latest content about all the courses whichever I am conducting. Cisco is also been taken, no need to worry about that. And you can call me, you can WhatsApp me on this number, you can note down this number, or you can send me an email to this. So I will be able to answer this. And moreover, I am recording this entire session, this Zoom session. I will share it with the people whoever is asking for it. No need to worry. I will share the slides also, and I will share this recording also for you. So whoever is like to get certified on CCNA, and you can come for the training, and I'll be giving you a reduced price, price and all we can able to work it out, not a problem at all. but I would like you to get trained properly and you will get certified so that you will be able to get your exams cleared very easily, because nowadays they're asking for a certification on this. Not only having the knowledge will clear your interviews, certification will also make sense. So once you produce your certificate along with your resume, you will be having the brighter chances to get called in for the meetings, called in for the interviews. You will be able to clear that, because we also look for people who are coming with certified, not only just having the knowledge on that. So the clients which are looking for a certified people only. And that's why I'm just, insisting on the people to go for a certification to clear it. Then it's very easy for you to clear the exam, you know, like that. So now I will show you a small demo on the packet tracer. I have started already the packet tracer. I guess you can see my packet tracer screen. And here we are seeing all the network devices will come, and I'm just clicking the network device. This is the routers. You just see it's getting highlighted, and this is switches getting highlighted. My what is that? My mouse is on the left hand side down. You can just see that. Okay. And the next is like it's a hubs, and this is wireless devices, and this is a security devices. This is the cloud which goes on like a WAN emulation connectivity. So what I'm going to do, I'll be taking one of the switch. So this switch I'm going to take, that is 2950. Let me drop it here. Let me make it bigger. So you can just see it is a 2960 switch. This switch, if I'm clicking that and I'm making it a zoom in, let me make it bigger. You can just see that. So these are all the ports which are in the switch. It's what is it? How many ports are there? 6 plus 6, 12. 12 plus 12, 24 switch ports are there. They can produce 100 Mbps speed. And this is 2 gigabit speed port. Means like you will be having some multiple above than this megabit, like 100 MB. This is 1 GB, like that port. This is the Catalyst 2960. There is a platform which we are seeing that, and this is the switch where I'm going to connect with that end device. This is called as the end devices. In the end devices, I will pick up the PC. You see that this is the PC. I'll pick one PC and pick second PC, and I'll pick the third PC. Let me adjust it properly. Okay, so I will be connecting the cables accordingly. So the cable, this is the cabling. You can just see connections, it comes in. So with the connections, we'll be able to select any cables. You can just see when I'm going through this, moving the mouse, you can see this place. This place, you can see. This is the copper straight through cable. This is a copper straight over crossover cable. And this is like a fiber cable. And this one is like, what is that? Phone cable, something like that. All the cables are there. We will be choosing the copper straight through. And I'll click on this and I'll connect the first Ethernet 01 to the first PC. I connected. It's showing the FS01, that is the first port. And it is connected on fast Ethernet port. It's nothing but the NIC which is connected on this. I'll do the same thing for the second PC to connect. On the second port, second PC is connected. On the third port, third PC is connected. Like that I do. So first PC, second PC, and the third PC. What I'm going to do is like, I will be giving the IP addresses for these people. Just give like 10.1.1.1, like that, right? And this one is like 10.1.1.2. And this IP address is 10.1.1.3. This is just a labeling I'm doing it. I need to configure the IP literally inside the PCs. Okay. So this is the PC1, this is PC2, this is PC0. The numbers start with a 0 only. Okay, I will go back to the switch and I will show you certain commands for you. We'll get into the CLI. CLI means command line interface. Say enter. Enable to configure something like that. I just need to say enable. Show version. This command will tell me what is the box information. Here you can just see that. This is the model number of the switch. I highlighted that 2960. That is a model number. WS means work group switch. 2960 24TT. That is a model number. with the processor something and with the memory of near about 210 something like that bytes which are showing, maybe like 22 MB. And it is showing the 24 fast Ethernet ports. That's what we were seeing here. This 24, this say. Can just say the 2 gig Ethernet ports are there. That's what we seen here, the high speed ports, 2 gig Ethernet ports. And there are many other blah blah things are there. This is the model number. You can just see I'm highlighting that this is the model number 296024TT is there. There's a model number. How many number of ports? What is the software version on this? What is the software image on this? I can run the command show flash, which will show me what is the operating system which is currently running on this switch. That's a 2960. That is the model number. LAN base 122. Something like 12.2 is the version currently running on this. So now the switches are connected. Sorry, switch is connected with the PCs and all are green. You can just see green, green, green. Means green in the sense they can able to talk to each other. Got it? So let me show you this command, show IP interface. You see the ports, 3 ports are up. All other ports are down because cables are not connected on the other ports. The 3 PCs connected, first PC, second PC, third PC. They are connected on the port number 1, 2, 3. That's why the status is up, protocol is up. Status up means in the sense administrator has made up this and the cable connection is also been up. And all other things are down. No need to worry. We are going to work with only these 3 ports. So what I do next thing is like I will be assigning an IP address to this all PCs. If I hover my mouse, it will be showing that either assigned IP address is there or not. There is no IP is there assigned. You see, fast Ethernet is showing up means the port is showing up, but there is no IP address. IP address saying not set. So I will assign the IP address for this. Let me go to desktop, IP configuration. I'll assign the IP 111. Mask is important. I assigned it. I'll do the same thing for second PC. IP configuration 10.1.1.2. What do I do? Simple. And I'll assign this guy 10.113. Got it? So all our IP addresses are assigned. If I move my mouse, it will be showing you the IP address. It's there. Fast Ethernet 0 is link is up. IP address is assigned as 10.113. Got it? So now I go back to the first PC. I'll get into the command prompt. Let me make it a little bit maximize. Run the command as usual, ipconfig. Ipconfig will tell me that what is the IP address assigned for this guy. Okay, now I'll try to ping the second PC. That is the second PC IP is 10.1.1.2. Somebody is joining. 10.1.1.2. Say enter. Now I can able to ping. See, the reply is coming from 10.1.1.2. Reply from 10.1.2. 32 bytes are sent and received. How long it took the time? First time it took 44 milliseconds. Next time it is taking only 1 millisecond because it is quite faster. How many packets are sent? 4, received 4, lost 0. Means nothing is lost. Everything is running. Now I'll ping the third PC. It's also working. Less than 2 milliseconds it is pinging the other guy. Means it can able to reach the third PC from first PC within 2 milliseconds. So packets 4 are sent, received 4, lost 0. It's a 0% loss. So the connectivity has been established from 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2 and 3. Let me ping it from second PC. I'll go to command prompt. IP config as usual. 10.1.1.2. Let me ping the 10.1.1.1. It's running. I can able to ping the first PC. Let me ping the third PC also. It's working. Let me close this guy. I'll go back to the third one. Command prompt. IP config. 10.1.1.3 is my IP, local IP. I'll ping the 10.1.1.1. That's the first PC. I'm able to ping within a less than 1 millisecond. It is pinging. 4 sent, 4 received, no loss. And I'll ping the second guy. Now I'm pinging the second one like 1 milliseconds and the 4 received, 4 lost. 4 sent and 4 received. So now we have all the connectivities been established. These 3 PCs can talk to each other through this switch. Getting that? This switch is forwarding the packets between the PCs. The PCs are sending the packet to this. Let me take an on at it. The packets are sent to this port and it is receiving, and this is receiving. The same way, if this PC0 is sending the packet, this guy will receive and this guy will also receive. Like that, every other transmission is possible through this switch which has been there, because the switch is connecting all the what do you say, all the PCs. This is nothing but a local LAN. I can just say this is a local LAN, and I would like to show you one router also. 1841. This is one other router. So the router, I'll make it bigger. I'll do it as a zooming. This is the power switch. This is the power cable which is connected, and this is called as a console port, where we will insert the cable and we'll configure basic, physically. And this is an auxiliary port. This is a fast Ethernet, means 2 LAN connections we can make that. And these 2 slots are empty. I can put any modules from this slot. I'll pick up with 2T. Oh, it's saying cannot add when power is on. Let me switch off and I will add it. Now I add it. Now I'll switch it on. I'll take that. So now the 2 serial ports which are going to connect the WAN connections, it's like, let me go back to the CLI. Now the router is starting. Control C, router is there. Enable as usual the command show version. I'll type here also. I'm just saying that this is the model number 1841 with 128 KB, sorry, 128 MB of memory. And this is the processor. 2 fast Ethernet ports are there. This is what I was telling. Those 2 fast Ethernet ports and 2 low speed serial ports are there. This is nothing but serial port, 2 serial ports. Serial ports are used for WAN connectivity. Fast Ethernet ports used for LAN connectivity. Now I'll just say show flash. This is the iOS which is currently running on this router. The model number is 1841 and the iOS which is running is Advanced IP Services K9 124, means a 12.4 is the version currently. How many interfaces are there? Show IP interface brief. Let me try. Oh, so there is a spelling mistake. Now it's said fast Ethernet 00, first port, second port, first serial, second serial. We'll learn it. Let me configure this fast Ethernet interface fast Ethernet 0/0. I'll give an IP address as 10.1.1.4 because we have given until 3. No shutdown is a very, very important command to make the ports up and running. And I saved this. Now, if I just see show IP interface brief, it's like up, but it is down because cable is not connected. Now I'll go back to the diagram. I will take one cable. I'll use the free port, 4th port. I'll connect to the 00 because I configured 00. On the router side, FA00. On the switch side, it is FA04. 4th port I'm connecting. Let me assign the IP here also, 10.1.1. This is what the IP which I given for router. This router is meant for to connect to the different cities as well. It taking some time. Until then it will be like an amber color, orange color. It will become green. So once it is becoming green, this all PCs can talk to this router. Now it is become green. So now what I do, I will go back to this PC0. I'll get into the command prompt. The router IP is 10.1.1.4. It's means this PC can talk to the router through this switch. Means it can able to send any packet to this router. This router will connect to the another routers by having the WAN connections. It will talk to the other side also. Means like other cities also. Let me ping it from the second PC. Ping, it's already there, so I'll take it forward. It's working. Second PC also can talk to the router. Third PC, it also can be talked to the router. It's possible. So I can ping from the PCs in the sense I can ping from the router also. I can do that. Ping 111. First PC is working. Second PC is working. Third PC is working. Means Success rate is 100%. 100%. 100%. 5 packets sent, 5 packet received. This is the round trip time. How long it took? Less than 2 milliseconds it took. So they are all in the same LAN. That's why they are able to talk to each other. So this is a basic understanding about your LAN and router connections, which is configurations, PC, IP address, and other things. So I can say that from my side, I have finished this kind of a session now. So if you are having any other questions in your mind, you can ask me and I will be able to answer you. Any questions from your side? You can unmute your mic and you can talk to me. If you have any questions on this about a certification or chapters or class timings or something, anything, or if you have any doubts on that, on the network, if you like to do any clarifications on the network side, you can ask me any questions, no problem. I'm ready to answer now. Hello. I see some people are there. Yeah. You can ask me any question, no problems. Hello. So any questions? So CCNA, the new certification is nothing but like 200-301. That's what the exam point of view. We just need to learn many other things on the chapters which I have discussed on this. I'll be showing you all the practicals on this packet tracer. So we will be recording all the sessions as well. You can able to rerun it and you can able to see that all the informations as well. Any questions from anyone? You can ask me anything, no problem. Any other further certifications or any other technologies or any cloud technologies or any Cisco related, firewall related or anything you can ask me. I will be answering that. Not a problem at all. And I would like to have your email address or phone numbers so that I can contact back to you about the course details and other things. You can give me your email address in the chat. In the Zoom chat, you can type it out. We'll give you some certain informations on the Cisco side. Give it. I will not disturb you. I'll just give you some, introductions on this all. Like duration of the course, Abdul is asking. Maybe 1 month it may take maximum. 25 days per day, 2 hours sessions we can have. And we will be able to complete that in a 1 month. We will do a lot of practicals as well. So that's what Abdul asked. Abdul Aziz. It's a month program and 2 hours per day. Like that. So I given the answer in the chat also. You can just get that 1 month program, 2 hours per day. Like that. So any other questions from your side? Ask me, no issues. Don't hesitate to ask any questions. Whatever the questions you can ask me. I can answer that. Regarding computers and networks and technologies, because this is a technological session. So you can ask me any questions. Training will be there online or any center, Arunbalaji. Training will be online only because nowadays centers are closed due to the corona and people are not in that. Yes, Abdul Aziz is asking about can we crack the exam? Definitely, I will be giving you all the handwritten notes and I'll give you all the scenarios and lab scenarios and as well. I will ask you to do it in front of me and we will be saving all the projects in the packet tracer itself. And I'll give you the book which is required for you to prepare for the exams. PDF copies of the book I'll give it to you through online. I'll just send it to you. You can download that. And I have the dumps which are there for examination clearing. Dumps are there, which I will give you. Definitely a month training plus 10 to 15 days from your side practicing on your own will be able to clear the exam very easily. Not a problem at all. People are clearing the exam in first attempt many times. I just seen that many of my students, and I have conducted the in center as well as in online near about 200 to 300 batches I conduct. I did that, and I do some corporate batches also for bigger companies like a Capgemini, Accenture, in Cisco also I done that. like, so I do corporate as well as retail, means like people who are coming as an individual also I used to do that. And yeah, Arun Balaji was asking about that through online or any center. I was conducting in centers, but nowadays centers are closed due to the corona. People are not coming there as such. We are ready to start that centers because we have some centers which are running on that, but people are afraid to come into the center and sitting in them doing that because of the corona. So better we will be continuing through the online only. It is easier. I will be creating daily the Zoom session. I'll give the link to you. You can join there. Then we will be recording that session also. I'll be talking to you over the Zoom meeting. That's more than enough because that is what the network is going to be. It's not like coming to the center and sit there and do all these things. It is risky for you also as well as for me also. And moreover, if you're not in Bangalore, actually I'm from Bangalore. I'm speaking from my home. And if you are in Delhi or if you are in Kolkata or if you are in any other city or something like that, it is not possible for us to be on center side. So better we can continue these courses on online only until the situation is becoming normal. So it will be a completely online course only. I will be with you daily. I'll be talking to you live. No video running and all. I'll be talking to you live and I will instruct you to do what all things to do. Okay, nice. Thanks for Abdul and Arun Balaji. So can you give me your email addresses? I will send you the details to you about the course and many other things and all. I'll be able to give. Okay, Abdul has given that. Other people also can give it. Thank you. Yeah, Balaji has given. Abdul has given. Some more is there. Some more people are there. They can also give it. No problems. Okay, so as of there is no much questions are coming up, so I guess this meeting is already an hour, 1 hour. So I can end this meeting and you can still talk to me on my WhatsApp number or you can send me an email on this stuckerout@gmail.com. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel and I will be sending this recording to all the people, whoever is participated, as well as I will share it in the groups as well. So no need to worry about that. I will be doing all these things for you. So thanks for joining today and I will be ending this meeting. Thanks all. Thanks all for the joining. I can just say thanks all. Thanks all for joining. Somebody is joining now. Oh, Vishal. Vishal is coming now. Okay. We are about to end this meeting. Anyway, Vishal has joined. Vishal, you have any questions to ask me? You can unmute your phone and you can ask me. Any questions regarding the any questions regarding the
No, nothing.
Okay, no problem. You can give me your email address. I will be sending you some details to you.
Yeah, vishalbs007@gmail.com.
Please type it on the Zoom chat. It'll be easy because it'll be if you are making mistakes, it may not reach you. In the Zoom chat, there is a facility you can type. Okay, Vishal BS007. James Bond. Okay, I will be sending all the details to you people, whoever is attended, and we'll get back to you about some details on the course details and fee details and other things. That is very important. Okay, thanks for joining.
Meanwhile time actually I have problem in the internet. That's why I can't see last 10 minutes section actually.
Okay. Anyway, this meeting is recorded. I will share it to you on your email. You can download it.
Okay,
Upload it immediately
sure.
to Google Drive. So in half an hour, you'll be able to get the link to download. No problems. No problems.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And Abdul is asking, can you give brief about yourself? Yeah. Okay, I will tell you. I am an industry expert. I'm working as a technical architect. That is like a subject matter expert, technical architect on the field of cloud. I'm mostly working on AWS cloud and Azure cloud and all. And I used to design the networks, very large, huge designs, ISP level designs, which I do. I have 15 years of experience in the industry. And I used to take these classes as well as like a knowledge sharing or something. Okay. And I work on every other technology in the world, cybersecurity, cloud technologies, network technologies, and data center technologies, you know, and wireless as well. Every other technology I used to work on. So you will be getting a very good training from my side if you join with me. And all of my students who are done with me, like all our friends only. So they are still continuing with me on my group. I will be try to join you in my group also. Like I will be sharing some lot of job opportunities as well. I have people who are connected with me that they will be offering the jobs for the people who are looking for a job or something, either fresher or an experienced people are looking for any certification help or something, or any kind of a trainings which I always been there. So that is my brief introduction about myself. I guess Abdul has got informations. Thanks, Abdul. You asked me. Like, okay. Thank you. So I will be ending this meeting and I will share immediately in a half an hour. Google Drive link will come to you. It will reach your email and you can download the entire session of this recording. Okay. Thanks all. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you all.